One of the classes that we've twinned this year, or done a class to class with this year, has been between the Elmtree School in the UK and Katapila School in the Nyansafu sector, and that's been incredibly successful. So there have been teachers that have actually come out from Elmtree School here to visit Katapila, and they've brought over lots of materials for the school, teaching materials, and the impact has been very significant on both schools and the kids as well. So both kids from both the UK and from here in Zambia have learned a huge amount from that.
With the help of Project Luangwa and the school which we are really training with, the one which is in UK, Elmtree School, it has really come in and helped in so many things. Elmtree is a school which has made this Katapila to be the way it is as at now.
I am absolutely astounded. I have to keep pinching myself and think it's only a couple of years since we went over there, and I find it hard to believe just how much we've managed to achieve. You know, all of us.
Yeah, just early this year, we had some teachers from the same school. They came to this school and teach our children some of the things that they normally offer to that school. Yeah, we had that cordial relationship with those people from Elmtree to this school. Yes.
Does anybody know what that one is? We've had a lot of that over the last couple of weeks, a lot of it.
Hail.
We have a very hands-on approach to teaching. We use lots of visual aids. They will learn through doing. We base most of our lessons on the children learning creatively, so they have a lot of resources to use. It's a map of Elliot.
England.
It is, well, not just England. We've got
country.
England here, we've got Wales here, we've got Scotland up here, we've got...
Project Luangwa came in, and after putting up the structure, yes, now they thought of maybe putting up some trained teachers to come and take over this school. Latson, who is the headmaster of this school, yes, was being picked and being brought to this school. You are in the same career with your wife, you're going to be at the same school. That's how we came to this school. When we came in 2010, there were only 96 children when we first came. That was September 2010. Yeah. Now this time, the number of the children has really increased from 96 to 307. We have a lot of children.
But again, you've got to have somebody there who's at the other end who's going to be as proactive as you are. And that's where Project Luangwa were able to put us in touch with Katapila. And Laxon and Irene, perfect candidates for it, because they're prepared to work with us to see what they can link and do all these various projects. And that's really what we needed if, as a school, we were going to make a link. The library development was the biggest thing, because we were redeveloping our library here. So we've worked alongside them to create a library for them. It's sort of just snowballed ever since then. There are so many links that we can do between the schools.
It was an opportunity that I simply couldn't pass up. It was there, it had my name on it, if you like. The long vowel sounds. The long vowel sounds. A.
And rain. And rain. And rain. And rain.
I think Africa's one of those places that you can't be prepared for. You've got to experience it, you've got to go and see what it's like.
I don't think I really knew what it would be like. I don't think I had any understanding of how rural it would be. how remote it was. I knew it was going to be hot.
Actually being there was very, very different.
I felt it was very important that we got some teaching staff out there.
I want children to think about other people. I want them to be grateful for what they've got and to value it, but also to understand that they can help other people. And it's not because these other people are not trying, they happen to be born in a place where they are less fortunate, and that's not their fault, but we can do something to help.
How are you today? Fine. How are you today? Fine. How are you today? Fine.
We did quite a lot of fundraising before we went to raise money to buy things to take with us. And one of the things that I had wanted to take was a large parachute that we use a lot here for our PE games. And in particular, my class absolutely loved it. So for me, it was something that I wanted to take for Katapila. I wanted to take things that we could model or show how to use very, very simply. And when we had gone, that the teachers there could continue to use it. And I'm hoping that they are continuing to use it.
Oh, my sister, and what a wonderful.
The very hungry caterpillar.
The Very Hungry Caterpillar was the story that I modelled a lot of my lessons on.
In the right of the moon, a little egg lie on a leaf.
And it was just a little box that had some hand-stitched, a butterfly in there and a caterpillar, and just so there was some images and some real things for the children to hold and touch to help them with their understanding of English or British stories.
He was a beautiful butterfly.
Lettuce and onions grow here, and potatoes grow here, beans grow there, and broad beans grow here, and strawberries grow here. And there's a stingy nettle right there.
Well, we called this Planting a Future, and this was a project that was run last May, so May 2011. My reception class, they donated the £1, and that money with a name label went to Katapila, and that money was then used to buy saplings for Katapila School. Within the same week, the children that were leaving from year 2 here, their parents donated 4 fruit trees for our field. You can see the approach was just so different in terms of how we planted them. When we planted ours, the holes had been dug for us. I walked down and I threw a little bit of soil down, and lovely, we've planted a tree. Well done, Mrs. Hobbs and her class. But in Africa, they carried the tools from home. Little 6 and 7-year-olds carrying pickaxes over their shoulders, and then they were digging the holes themselves. I mean, here you could never. But one of the big messages, whether we were in Zambia or whether we were in the UK, was that the trees needed water to keep them alive. It was one of those messages that while we are miles and miles apart and very, very different, we have similarities. It's a year on, and at the end of May, Katapila are going to be having a party to celebrate that 69 of the 69 trees that were planted have survived. And at that time we will go and have a little party on our field as well and look at the fruit trees that we planted.
The greenhouse, so the plants in here, in this type of year, they don't die of coldness. And so cats don't get in the way.
What is the most favorite animal?
Elephant.
We've just had more and more projects that we've linked with. The latest one is the wall hanging. It turned out that one of our former pupils from this school was the manager of the local textile development scheme out near Elmtree. She agreed that she would sponsor a wall hanging for Elmtree, which would be designed by the children at Katapila. Our children had a competition to see who could design one that represented what there is in Chesham, so that could be printed for the children in Katapila. But it's been fantastic because she's been able to send us pictures of all the production of this wall hanging. So not only has a child here designed it, he's seen all the production photos as well. And then they will go out to, it'll be hung up in Katapila School, which is just amazing.
Life-changing, without question. Although I'd read a lot about Africa, it didn't prepare me for what I saw and what I felt. And I came back with that sense that we have lost the ability to understand the worth of things.
I think one of the things that came over hugely for me was the sense of community.
They value everything. No piece of scrap metal or paper or wood goes wasted. So everything they have, they understand the value of it.
We often look to some, like Zambia, in quite a patronising way, oh dear, they haven't got this, they haven't got that, we've got this, we can go, we can take them this. But actually the sense of community and the fact that they finish school, the first thing they do is go home, they collect water from the borehole, they were watering the plants, this commitment to a community.
And I came back feeling that there are things that they've got right about behaviour, about valuing the things they do have, that we seem to have lost touch with.
For lots of young children in this country, the sort of community feeling's gone, and children are sitting at home on their own, on electronic devices. They've not got extended family.
And coming back into class and children making demands that I know the Zambian children wouldn't make. And at Christmas I gave out, as I normally do, little presents, and I had one child who said, I don't want a blue one, I want a green one. And I know that the Zambian children, that wouldn't have happened.
That sense of community, especially at Katapila, was overwhelming, and it made you look back to some of the maybe basic values that have gone.
It took me several months to come back down, and Zambia was very much in my thoughts on a daily basis. It really did have a massive, massive impact.
As soon as you talk to one person, something else comes up. And it's just quite incredible. So, yeah. No, we've got lots and lots of plans for the future. So we won't be stopping yet.